This podcast is part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. For more great podcasts, head over to bigheadsmedia.com. Hi there, folks, and welcome to a bonus episode of TV Tuners. It's a podcast where this go around we're talking about a movie. And with me, I'm your host, Swanson. That's right. And with me, as always, is my co-host and sadomasochist radio host, Stairmaster.
Ah! I don't know. I thought you were going to make me one of the business partners for some reason.
Oh, okay, sure. One of the business partners who are so pivotal to this film, Stairmaster.
Listen, I think we need a more harder podcasting experience. None of this soft stuff, none of this recap nonsense. We need to go on a vacation and review that or something. We need something real.
Our listeners, they don't want the soft stuff anymore. You
yes,
hear me?
We need to spank Keo on air. Make him ride the Libyan, or whatever it's called, the Sabian.
Oblivion.
you know what I'm talking about.
Oh,
the Sibian.
Yes. And with us, as always, is our other co-host and guy who lives exclusively in the TV, Gio Rain.
Listen, we will all soon have TV names, every one of us.
Yes, mine is Stairmaster.
It's true. Mine is just Swanson.
Yeah, mine's Keo Rain.
Wow, funny how
wow, have we been living in the TV this whole time?
Yes.
Well, my name's Keo Rain, but you can call me Charmander.
You can call me Ryan.
You can call me Hank.
I won't do that.
Oh, all right.
You can call me Sputnik.
I definitely won't do that.
You can call me Al.
No. It's not Al anymore.
Call me Pete. Za.
No. I'm sorry. So anyways, yeah, it's our first bonus episode. How you feeling, boys?
Yeah, it's a good time.
Hold on. Let me take a sip of this coffee we've been bought.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh.
Yeah, how is it?
Sounds like you're preparing it right now.
No, I took a sip of it. It's really good.
I thought it sounded like you were opening a pack.
No, he's just really in love with that coffee.
Oh.
Yeah, he's having himself a good old experience with the coffee.
Imagine if you could have sex with that cup of coffee.
Wow.
That's the future.
Yeah, that's the next film, Coffee-Drome.
Like he goes to a homeless shelter and there's just a bunch of people drinking coffees. They need a little pep in their step.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, welcome to our first Buy Me a Coffee sponsored bonus episode. We're sponsored by them. This suggestion came to us from our good pal El Gato Pagina.
Yes. Our favorite sunglasses wearing person.
That's right. Yeah, she suggested that we watch this, presumably because televisions are involved intimately in this, in more ways than one.
Really, when you think about it, this whole movie's about us.
Oh, God. I don't want to be anybody in this movie. I think Keo had the right idea about that.
Yeah, I don't think there's any characters in this movie that are good.
The Japanese lady with her tits out.
That was a character?
Yeah. She was in the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
For about half of the film, you might think that Harlan seems like a good guy.
I don't know. He does run a whole pornography empire, it seems like.
Oh, yeah. I guess he's not a... Yeah, that's true.
But usually that's a warning sign.
Yeah. So yes, we watched this the 1984, something like that, 1983 Canadian science fiction / body horror film, written and directed by the king of body horror, David Cronenberg.
Yes, and this might be his most important work, or at least the most long-lasting, it seems.
Yeah. Now, have you watched this before, Star?
No, I have not. I saw Eastern Promises, though.
Yeah, I haven't seen Eastern Promises. I've seen A History of Violence, which is
the
pretty
last
good.
movie to come out on VHS from Hollywood.
Very, very interesting. Didn't know that. I've seen Scanners. Obviously, that's it's a goodie. Other than that, I don't know. Dead Zone. I've seen that in The Fly. He did The Fly, didn't he?
Yes, he did The Fly with Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah. Dead Zone, like the Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z, right. The movie Return My Gohan, released in 1989.
Directed by David Cronenberg. Yeah. He's also a skilled animator.
Wow.
Yeah. I've seen Videodrome long ago. Had forgotten it outside of the most tantalizing of parts about it.
Oh, tantalizing. Interesting choice.
That's how I would describe all of the events that occur in this film, is they're tantalizing.
Well, as true TV fanatics.
Yeah, very true.
This film is very hot and heavy with it.
Yeah, this the main star of this film, and I think the only one of note, because a lot of these people, according to the IMDb, are like regulars in the Toronto scene at the time. So they didn't really go on to much, but the only major star here is James Woods,
who later would show up in an episode of The Simpsons and multiple episodes of Family Guy, and
is also a notorious shitbag in real life.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
But here he's fine. He does a real good job of seeming like a skeezy
porn emperor.
He wasn't even acting. He was just like, he thought this was actually going on. He was
might have.
He would have.
This might all be real. We don't know.
But yeah, that's the gist of it. Who knows what's real and what isn't in the Videodrome?
It's left up to interpretation, I think.
Yeah. So yeah, this first thought right off the bat, before we get into recaps here, I just want to say it's refreshing to go back and watch a movie that's just 90 minutes.
Yes. Everything like 4 hours now.
Yeah, if this were made today, there'd be
movie.
Yeah, there'd be a 4-hour Schneider cut with a sequel tacked onto the end of it.
Hold on. Which Snyder?
Oh, Zack Snyder. Obviously.
Oh, I thought it was Rob Schneider.
Oh my god! I did say Schneider and not Snyder.
Yes.
Rob Schneider's version of Videodrome is not something I want to see. I guess I don't want to see Zack Snyder's version either. But
the TV grows a pair of feet.
Oh my god, no! Would that would that have been worse?
I mean, weird footstep wouldn't have been super out of place in this movie, really.
Very true. So yeah, I just it's good to see a movie that's not over 2 hours long and gets everything accomplished that it wants to, presumably.
And it passes the Bechdel test. Wait, no, it doesn't. Never mind.
I was gonna say, does it?
No, it absolutely fails it. If you like this movie, you are sexist.
Yeah, look, one of us might be saved.
Ooh.
So yeah, we get introduced to James Woods' character, Max Wren, as he is sort of just sleeping with the TV on, as he did back in the 80s.
And presumably still today.
Nope.
No, I don't know if anyone actually... Well, I guess you can sleep through like an episode of like a show on Netflix or something.
My parents don't.
Like,
My dad sleeps with the TV on.
Oh,
he's an old-fashioned kind of guy.
Has he been Videodrome pilled?
Maybe. Don't ask him about the takeover on Washington. It's all I'm saying.
Uh-oh. Yeah, so what we learn pretty quickly from Max Wren is he's just a trash boy. He's a real trash man. I appreciate
private video messages set up.
Yeah, that's wild. That he runs his own TV station, as we learn. It's like a UHF channel back when those were
Except this is the future, so it's all softcore pornography and horror films, video nasties.
Yeah. Well, apparently that sort of thing existed back in the day. Because reading about it on who knows how true it is? It's on IMDb. But Cronenberg said that the basis for the movie came from his childhood when he would get television signals. And was worried that late at night he would find something disturbing on one.
Oh. Well, that doesn't mean there's like a porno channel out there, though.
I guess that's true.
That's specifically on public broadcasting.
Yeah, I think that's never happened. Aren't public airwaves like strictly regulated?
Yeah, although this is Canada, so who knows? It might be a lawless wasteland up there.
Well, consider when this movie was made, the 80s, and this is him trying to predict the future. Like, he knew that human beings' libidinal cravings would just be amplified to such a huge extent by the circumstances of modernity. But he didn't know what the outlet would be. In all actuality, the softcore porn channel is the internet.
That's true.
But that didn't exist in 1984 as far as David Cronenberg was concerned. So
it was not a softcore porn channel. It was every type. It was a spectrum ranging from softcore porn,
just like the internet.
Yeah.
So just the most unbelievable stuff that anyone could want to watch.
Yes, this whole film is just about David Cronenberg predicting the internet, but not understanding it because it's just outside of its historical context. It's like staring in the inside of a black hole. Back in the 80s.
I mean, it's kind of predicting the internet. I mean, It is based on some observations that you could make even back in the 80s that, getting addicted to pornography and falling into a deep rabbit hole happened back then, too.
Compare Videodrome to QAnon.
It's
not great.
Yeah, and he is getting at something here about, like, removing the old body and moving into a new form. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That is, I guess that is sort of the internet.
Well, yes, from a historical materialist point, all social movements have a counter-reaction. So you can see the new flesh as that. We don't know what true form it'll take, but we know it'll be terrible.
Yeah. So before we get into any of that talk, we see this dude. I appreciate the set design and almost everything. That everything looks
like shit.
Everything looks like it's just a trash kingdom. Like, this dude's apartment, he's eating, like, pizza crust and dipping it in his coffee. Yeah. That's how you know this dude's not to be trusted.
That's how you know.
You guys ever just wake up in the morning and thumb through some pornographic photographs and just chuckle to yourself in the morning?
Well, I have, but I don't know about other people.
Yeah, Stare wouldn't want to speak out of turn for everybody. Yeah, I mean, look, who among us hasn't, fellas? Who among us hasn't? And when you think about it, Videodrome, this is a movie for the fellas.
Really, it is.
So yeah, we get introduced here to sort of what his deal is. He's meeting with this Japanese executive.
Apparently, in the future, porn is such a big deal. There's licensing agreements for international distribution.
Who knew? And yeah, he's like, no. I don't care about the first 2 episodes. Let me see the last. He says it's not tacky enough, or I think one of the executives say that.
Yes, well, this is kind of a classy sort of porno. Like the lighting's all hazy. The camera lingers on the woman's body. We don't even see a man in what we see of this.
Very true. I'm assuming the samurai comes in later for these samurai dreams.
It's just not powerful enough. It had no effect on their bodies.
Yeah, one of them said, I'm limp over here. Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a very New York dude who lives in Toronto.
See, if I was making that video, the lady would also be a samurai.
Oh, okay.
They could just have like a samurai battle.
Yeah. And then it becomes a different sort of contest.
No.
Yeah, there's a different sword.
Then they try out a different kind of art. The martial ones.
Calligraphy?
Maybe. Yes, but in a sex way.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, they reject the show and they're like, we need to find stronger material.
We need to see the woman being slapped in the face with this penis.
Yeah. So, cut to, is the talk show first, or does he meet Harlan first?
I believe he has his panel first. No, I think he talks to Harlan first about the signal.
Yeah, he's having this bit here where we get introduced to Harlan, who, for the first half of the movie, everything he says ends with him saying, Patron.
Yeah, I found out that he was 1/8 indigenous, or 1/16 Caribbean and indigenous, and now he's just, like, leaning into that.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. And, he's also a skeezy dude. He gets him, he finds him this show in Malaysia from what he thinks to be a broadcast in Malaysia, called Videodrome.
Yeah, it's just these people being tortured to death in this weird primeval chamber.
Yeah,
with a little play wall.
He's just like, huh, interesting, something to think about.
Wow, This almost looks real.
And something to think about that comment.
Wow, my brain actually generated serotonin looking at this.
Huh, maybe we should play it. So then
we have the panel.
They have the panel here, which is this is the first clue that there's like something very odd about this film. Which is that there's two people there with the host, and then there's a TV set up with a man on the TV.
Yeah, with Dr. Robotnik.
Yeah.
His name is like Professor Oblivion.
Yeah, it's Irish.
Yeah. Well, no, thankfully, I don't know if thankfully, it wouldn't have mattered to me either way because I think it's funny. But he does have a line where he says, "That's obviously not my real name." Which I feel like Cronenberg put in there just so no one would be like, that's ridiculous.
Even though another guy here is named Mr. Convex.
Yeah.
And owns a glasses store.
So yeah, they have this like talk show panel where they're like, Max Wren, you're considered the most despicable human being in existence.
Which is probably true.
How can he justify pornography? And he's like, it helps people act out their urges in a harmless way. Anyways, I want to bang this guest you have here. Like, look at this.
Yeah.
On air.
Yeah, on air, he's just hitting on this radio host. And there's a bit here where she plays off being uninterested, but I guess she is.
Also, she sounds like Dr. Malfi. And is a therapist.
Ooh, something to think about. Ooh. Do you think Tony Soprano watched Videodrome?
I hope not. What the fuck is going on?
What happened to his hand?
First it's a gun, then it's a hand, then it's a gun again. Make up your fucking mind.
How did he attach a bomb to that dude?
Oh, you meant the movie. I thought you meant the tape.
Oh
my God.
Oh, that would be bad.
Find me these people. I don't have a conversation with them. So yeah, he meets her again at like her job while she's just like talking to someone on the radio.
This person's like having the worst day of her life.
Yeah, and he's just there being like, "Hey, what's going on? How's it going?" I guess they go out later. They're back at his place watching TV, as you do.
And she asks him if he has any porno.
Yeah, as you do. Well, what we learn around this point is that she's a masochist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. After the sequence, this film got officially Incel Nation decertified.
That's right. Yeah.
Because sex happens.
That's right. And
this is where he shows her Videodrome, right? And she's like in trance.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, it's not that. I don't know. We can turn it off if you want."
He's like, "Look, it's not really porn. It's like it's torture and murder." She's like, "Yeah, let's check it out. I'm interested."
Yeah.
And then it cuts to them having sex.
And then he envisions them in Videodrome, which is what could that mean? So then comes the wildest part of the movie. Definitely the wildest part. They mentioned Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy.
So they he goes back to Harlan. He's like, "Hey, so about that Videodrome you were talking about?" He's like, "Yeah, I found more of it. Turns out it's not from Malaysia. It's being broadcast out of Pittsburgh."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Huh."
But we never actually visit Pittsburgh in this film, unfortunately.
No, the most we get is someone imploring another to go see Pittsburgh before they're blown to smithereens.
Ooh.
So yeah, lots of Pittsburgh talk, but no Pittsburgh action in this movie. So that's a C plus on the Pittsburgh scale. Sorry. Why can't you be more like Dark Knight Rises?
Well, they never say Pittsburgh; they just film it there.
That's true. It is
why
just
can't
supposed
you
to
be
be
more
Gotham.
Why can't you be more like TV Tuners Denver, where we constantly talk about and show off Denver?
Yes.
That's right. Yeah, we go to popular locations in Denver, like
Columbine High School.
Oh yeah. Was that Denver? Yeah, I guess it was.
It's outside the city limits.
Yeah, we went there once. It was a good time. They said, "Why are you here?"
And then I was tased.
Yeah, just because they saw you and they knew.
They're doing their jobs.
I don't know why security is so tight there. It's really weird.
Yeah, but I think someone needs to dig into what's actually going on there.
Those kids are not all right.
So, yeah, they it's all about Pittsburgh.
It's not.
Freaky stuff's
it's really
going down.
not.
This movie's all about Pittsburgh.
I'm sorry, Swanson. This isn't the Pittsburgh movie you were looking for. Maybe someone can recommend Unstoppable from 2010, directed by Tony Scott. That goes all over Pennsylvania.
Oh, all right. Is that someone you, since you just did that?
No. I'm not going to spend money on my own damn podcast. Fuck you.
They watch Videodrome, they have sex, like he pierces her ears with a needle. It's like really...
Yeah, as someone who does not like needles, this did not work for me.
I don't like people being stabbed.
Well, wait, what if they're into it?
Yeah.
Still no good.
Still no good, okay. So yeah, Nikki Brand, by the way, is the name of this host. She sort of dies in a little bit, but then is around later because of, the movie being the movie. So she informs Max, like, "Hey, you know where I'm going? Pittsburgh." And
he's like, "Pittsburgh? That's where Videodrome is."
And yeah, he sort of mumbles his way. He's sort of like a beta about it.
Yeah.
And there's no real resolution to this. We just move on to the next scene.
Well, he does implore her numerous times, "Do not go to Pittsburgh."
He's like, "Those people, they're sick. They're disgusting individuals, unlike me. They've got bad connections. Don't go to Pittsburgh." She's like, "I'm going to Pittsburgh."
The people who live in Pittsburgh, they're no good. You don't want to go there.
I think he implies that Pittsburgh is more dangerous in a law and order sense than Southeast Asia.
Oh yeah, he mentions it. He compares it to Central America. I have that in my notes.
Yeah, it talks about how you actually go to jail for making underground videos there, but not in Pittsburgh.
Which is wild.
Wow, this movie predicted so much.
So she goes anyway, and she's sort of not heard from for a bit. Wonder why. So Max has this meeting with a pornographer who is making like these classy joints.
Like erotic adventures of Hercules type deals.
Yeah, and he's like, "Listen, it's just no Videodrome, okay? Find me stuff like that, and we'll be talking." And so he does want to learn more about Videodrome, so he has her look into it, right? Ask her to help find out about it. And that's when he has a conversation with her later where he learns that none of the footage is faked.
Yeah.
And
he's like, "Interesting. Something to think about."
And he's like, "Huh. Well, that's interesting.
I wonder how I can use this knowledge for my benefit."
Yeah, and then she says, hey, listen, these people are different from you, Max. They have a philosophy. And he takes that burning insult in stride, so that's good for him.
He's just like, yeah, what else?
Yeah. So learning about that Videodrome is like run by people in Pittsburgh who have some philosophy. He decides to go try and gather some more info by going to what is this place called?
She gives him a name. She gives him a name, right? She gives him the name of Oblivion at that point.
Yes,
right?
he goes to the homeless shelter. And meets
which it has like
Bianca Oblivion.
Yeah, where his Brian Oblivion's daughter works. And yeah, he I forget the name of this place, but it's pretty much a homeless shelter where they're just watching TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Apparently, according to the IMDb trivia on this, which I was skimming through, this scene, they had to someone on the set staff notified Cronenberg that the outside of the studio was smoking because of how much electricity they were using for all of these TVs.
My God, do they not have breaker boxes?
Well, it was 1983, so who knows what was going on. This movie, by the way, is at probably later he made more expensive films, but this is his most expensive to date. It was 5.9 million.
And I want to say Cronenberg sort of got it right. Like they're in a church looking at the TV. Okay, what is a modern church in America? McDonald's. And what do they have? Wi-Fi. Think about it.
Wow, you practiced there, Master. Thank you.
Damn, we're in the inside here. That type of insight is only available on the bonus episodes.
And I assume the homeless people in this movie are jerking off. At least some of them are like homeless people on library computers in real life.
How great would it be if like Max just sort of looked over at one of them and they would look back at him and they were just jerking it.
Max would just think about how he would do in a bum fighting ring, probably. The one that he runs in between semi-annually.
Yeah, well, yeah, he probably has like events, for the holidays. So yeah, he meets Bianca Oblivion, who he's like, I'm a big fan of your father's work. I have a new revolutionary form of media that I think he might be interested in. And she's like, all right, well, let's talk about it. So he takes him to her office, which is like everything else in this movie, just like very cluttered and just full of like junk.
Yeah, but she's got slightly more together, I think.
Yeah.
Like the bookshelf seems sorted out and stuff.
Yeah, true. So she's like, or he's like, yeah, listen, have you heard of Videodrome? She's like, huh? And basically she's like, let me give you listen, if you want to talk to my father, he'll give you a tape later after you've told him what do you need to know. And he's like, a tape? Can't I just like talk to him in person? She's like, no one does that.
In this future, Cronenberg thought there would still be more than one format. So he got that wrong.
Yeah, very true. So she's like, yeah, he'll send you a tape.
He doesn't converse anymore. He just does monologues, she says.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's like, huh, all right, well, I guess he's rich, so whatever.
Yeah.
And he goes back home. He's starting to freak out a little bit, as we learn. But the true zany hallucinations haven't quite happened yet. So he gets a visit from one of his, I think it's his secretary.
Yeah, she's the one who does gives him the wake up call.
Yeah.
Tapes.
So she's like, here's your wake up call tape.
Like, we didn't really talk about that before, but isn't that the dream, fellas?
Yes.
To just have someone record.
You just want to wake up like the lady in 51st Dates every morning.
Oh my god, what if she gave him a tape and it was just Adam Sandler being like, hello, Max.
I would have tuned out on the movie and stopped watching.
Hello, Max. You might not know this, but we've been married for 25 years.
Also, I'm 30 years from the future. And I need to warn you about 9/11.
Also, if you could help me get the money I need for this gem, that'd be really appreciated.
Oh, no.
So, yeah,
I don't want to see that crossover.
Adam Sandler in Videodrome is definitely not something I want to think about. So yeah, he gets the tape from her, and she's like, "Oh, I also got this tape from Mr. Oblivion. Would you like to?" He said to hand deliver it to you personally. And then he has a hallucination where, first off, it's not her, it's the radio host, Nikki, and then also he just straight up slaps her.
Twice.
Yeah, and then he's like, listen, I got out of hand there. Sorry about all that. She's like, huh? What are you talking about?
You didn't hit me at all. What are you saying?
He's like, oh, but I wanted to, so whoops. And then he's like, nothing. Don't worry about it. Listen, I'll be perfectly fine in the morning. Nothing else weird will happen to me. And he shoos her away. So he puts in the tape. Yeah, you just you're not constantly shooing people out of your apartment.
Hey, get out! Come on.
Hey,
Go on, get
out of here! Hey, get out of here! I gotta have sex with my TV. Get out of here! Go on, get. Lots of us got TVs to sleep with here. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so before that actually happens, he has this. He views this videotape from Oblivion. Oblivion shows up and he's like, "Hello there, Max.
You really are good at turning me on."
He mentions that Videodrome. He's heard of Videodrome. Or does he mention? Yes. He mentions the tumor first, right?
Yes, he talks about that. He talks about Videodrome. He talks about how the retina, the TV screen, is the retina of the mind's eye in the modern age.
And then people show up and garrote him.
Yeah.
And he dies, and then one of them takes off the hood, and it's Nikki. And she's like, "Hey, what's going on, Max? How's it going?"
And Max is like, "Huh, something to think about."
Yeah. And then she's like, "Huh, why don't you come over here and kiss me through the TV?"
The TV begins to swell and pulsate.
Yeah, this is wild. Definitely one of the parts of the movie that I do remember from all those years ago.
One of the tantalizing bits.
Well, yeah, because he makes out with a TV.
Yes.
And it.
Yeah, this is the part of the film where it starts to become a real popcorn flick.
That's right. Yeah, that's when I went and got my second bucket. I went through. I saw this in a movie theater. I went through 2 buckets of popcorn, and this was when I went through the first bucket right here.
Like, I'm just imagining the Let's All Go to lobby. They would have to do like a custom one for the film, I think.
Well, they usually put those in the middle of the film, so they would put that at like right at the moment where he meets Convex. So could you imagine just like Let's All Go to the Movies just playing in the middle of like him wearing that weird device on his face?
No, he puts it on and the camera zooms in and he's seeing the Let's All Go to the lobby.
That would be good. Yeah. I feel like if there was a modern version of Videodrome, someone would do something like that.
Yeah, and at the lobby, the guy by the popcorn machine is wearing a gimp suit.
Yeah.
And like when you go to get your popcorn, he's looking at you. He's like,
and you're like, what? Huh? And he unzips the mouth part, and he's just like, "Do you want butter on that?"
Yeah, the camera zooms in on its lips and it pulls back. It's on a TV screen.
Yeah, better movie, you know?
Yes. We're your better screenwriters than David Cronenberg. Confirmed.
Confirmed, yeah. Listen, how many movies has he really made?
Like 2 or 3.
Yeah, think
Probably.
about it.
It couldn't have been that many.
So yeah, he they view the he kisses the TV. They have all that happens. It's a great time.
He puts his mouth inside the TV. He goes inside it a little bit.
Well, the TV also moves forward and the screen stretches outward.
Yes. The TV is breathing at this point, by the way.
Yes, rhythmically.
It's breathing, pulsating. It's doing all sorts of biological things that a TV should not be doing.
The woman on it moans.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Something to think about here. Yeah.
I wrote that down just now.
He realizes he has to go return some tapes. So he goes and he goes back to Bianca, and he's like, "So your father's video has a
pretty
bite
fucked
to
up.
it." Yeah,
I think my mind's broken.
It's one of like 2 or 3 one-liners he has in this movie that are just really good, where he's like, "That film bites." And she's like, yeah, it's pretty messed up, huh? And then she shows him to her library where her dad has filmed just like a bunch of videos to just be played constantly so you can live on forever. Something to think about.
Yeah, that's really something to think about.
I wonder if
we're going to get started on that project, fellas.
Yeah, I wonder when we're going to start recording ourselves talking all the time and just putting it across every corner of the internet imaginable.
Yeah. Interesting. So yeah, she that is probably one of the more interesting concepts in this, is the Oblivion trying to sort of cheat death by just recording all of these videotapes.
Yes.
And she's like, "Listen,
I don't think it worked."
I don't know. Maybe it did. I can't tell.
No, I'm pretty sure that in the first appearance of this character, the responses he gave to the questions he was being asked were not at all congruent with the discussion.
That's true. But here's the thing.
Yeah, but he's famous, so he can get away with it.
Yeah, here's the thing to make you think. Bianca has a line here that sort of sums up the thesis on this particular theme, which is that she's like, he figured that public life on television was better than a private life alone.
In the flesh.
In the flesh, yeah.
Yes, flesh comes back a lot in this movie.
It's true.
How did that happen in this world where the reaction to this guy just being disjointed recordings was, yeah, let's go ahead and just continue airing him? Was he that famous or something?
He had some interesting ideas.
You have to be famous in order to think this is a good idea, I think.
Yeah. I'm assuming he was like, they don't delve into it at all, but I'm assuming his name is Dr. Oblivion. I'm assuming he was some sort of like Dr. Oz figure.
Oh, not Dr. Phil?
Yeah, like a TV doctor type of guy.
Dr. Good?
That doctorate is not real. I don't think so. Unless in this futurescape you can get like a doctorate in television.
Well, the lady on the TV called him a prophet.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
a media prophet. So I guess he's probably a pulsi degree.
He's a cult leader?
Yes.
Is that what?
Maybe, yeah. He's a media prophet who does run a homeless shelter like a church. So, that is a thought.
Maybe it's the Illuminati. Maybe it's a deep state.
I think we find people who are the deep state later. Well, yeah, I think he's in a deep state of death. So yeah, she's like, "Hey, listen, my father knew a lot about Videodrome. That's why they killed him." She mentions that his old they came up with the idea as like a future sort of thing, and his old partners, he wanted to get rid of it, so his old partners killed him. Mm-hmm. And then she's like, "Here are some more tapes. My father should be able to explain it better than I ever could." This is also the part where she mentions that anyone who watches Videodrome also receives a tumor in the brain. And he's like, Max is just like, "Well, why did you let me watch it then?"
She does not give a good answer for this.
Well, she thought he was an assassin.
Oh.
She thought he might be trying to like uncover what's going on with her dad, or what's something with her, probably. And spoilers, it turns out she was right.
Understandable. Have a nice day.
So yeah, he goes back to his place, decides to do what we all do when we want to watch a good flick. Sit there shirtless with our gun.
Yeah, real Joker moments here.
Yeah, and this is the first glimpse of body horror we actually get.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He bought a gun earlier in the movie, which they don't make a big deal out of until now.
Yeah, well, that gun's going to be coming back. You know, when I first saw that gun, I was like, a gun. You know, that reminds me of that one rule that guy made.
About the cat?
Schrodinger's gun.
Measure once, cut twice.
Yeah, that's measure true. Once, cut twice. That's the rule of Schrodinger's gun. And
measure once, cut twice. Do not put things in your chest vagina.
So, anyways, yes, he gets his chest vagina.
Yeah,
that's the closest approximate organ.
I will say, for as much of a piece of garbage as James Wood is in real life, he is doing some great exasperated acting in this. Where he's acting both as a man who is hallucinating and who's hallucinated a slit in his chest.
But is it a hallucination, though?
Well, that's the question. So as you do when you realize that there's a giant slit in your chest, you just sort of stick your hand with the gun in there.
Yeah, sort of fucks himself, but not really.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the gun is a phallic object. Mm-hmm. And then it gets lost in there, which,
Yeah, that's why guns are so popular in the U.S.
It's true, yeah. In Canada, they're taking guns away. They're putting them in slits, taking them away.
Yeah, he just leaves the gun in there. It's gone.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't leave the gun in there. It disappears.
And he freaks out.
Yeah.
And then takes a shot.
Yeah. And then he gets a phone call. This guy on the other end's like, "Hello, my name is Barry Convex. I would like to talk with you in person about the Videodrome experience."
Yes.
He's like, "Well, this sounds on the up and up. Let me go."
So yeah, he goes to his glasses store. Fools around by himself.
Wearing just
this guy likes to steal stuff, by the way. We didn't mention that. He steals food when he's visiting the Japanese businessman.
Yeah, he's attempting to steal glasses because he's just trying them on to see if he likes any of them.
Yeah.
I love that he's wearing these totally don't fit his face, bad glasses for him. The entire time, the entire beginning of this conversation he's having with Convex.
Yeah.
And Convex is just like, yeah, maybe you should wear a different pair. But also, I loved this bit here in the limousine where he sees first off, everybody in this movie is introduced via TV, which is great. Convex is on the TV and he's like, "Yes, I work for the let me see, I have it here somewhere. I work for Spectacular Optical Corporation. And we make eyeglasses for the third world and missile systems for NATO." Which is, that's great.
Yeah, society.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to assume that's the point he was trying to make, but...
This is the kind of guy I would do business with.
For glasses or missile systems?
Both.
Would you put out Nintendo Virtual Boy if he asked you to?
I would hesitate, and then I would do it.
Yeah, that tracks. So, yeah, he's like, "Hey, listen, I've heard about your problems with Videodrome. Listen, those broadcasts aren't supposed to get out. We're not ready. The world isn't ready for them yet.
Anyway, we need to do some QA on you, so put on this TV helmet so we can record your hallucinations.
Put on this giant, unwieldy TV helmet for me, please.
Also, we will be broadcasting images directly into your retina. Do not be alarmed."
Fun fact about this scene, according to the IMDb, Cronenberg is actually standing in for James Woods in this scene because James Woods was worried that he would be electrocuted by the device.
I think I've heard that.
So Cronenberg decided to just wear it himself.
I want to see that discussion. "I'm not putting the helmet on. It's going to shock me." "No, it's safe." "No, I'm not putting it on."
No.
It sounds like a lot of the effects work here that they do on James Woods was sort of uncomfortable. They had to paste that slit onto him each time.
Yeah.
Like they had to glue it onto him. they had the flesh gun that he gets later shoots cold air, so it had to have like it had to work made his hand like very cold.
Oh God.
So yeah, but hey, it worked out for the movie. All the special effects are top notch.
All artist suffering.
Yeah, that's something to think about. So, they give him this hallucination catcher, essentially, and put it on his head. He's like, I don't really want to stick around right now. I don't
like freaky stuff, and he leaves.
Oh, yeah, but he makes sure it's beaming BDSM into his head before he leaves.
Oh, yeah, because that really gets the hallucinations going.
Yeah, and as I'm watching this, I'm thinking, wow, this is a really good idea. This is definitely going to help.
Yeah.
This fucking helmet, do you know? It looks like one of those scene viewers. You remember when you were a kid? You could flip them.
Oh, the little picture things?
Yeah, you put them up to your eyes.
Yeah.
And it's like Independence Day.
It's like that
happening.
If you also mixed it with like the Virtual Boy.
Yes, that's what this is.
Yeah. And so Nikki comes back and she's like, "Hey there, Max. What's going on?" And he's like, "Oh, hey, my thoughts are being recorded right now. No big deal." And she's like, "All right, well, hey, we're in Videodrome." And then she's like, "Why don't you,
Why don't you beat me to death with this whip?"
Yeah. And then it's a TV. Whoa. Makes you think. So yeah,
it's almost like he's obsessed with the image instead of the actual material act.
Interesting. He's whipping it. He's whipping it like he's Devo, and
at some point it stops being Nikki and it's just this random other lady.
Oh yeah, and he wakes up, and Godfather style, there's a body in his bed. Well, I guess not Godfather style; it used to be a head.
Just Godfather style.
There's a body in his bed.
Her head is in the bed with the rest of her body. Just saying.
Well, that's fair. She was the pornographer he was talking to earlier, who gave him the first info on Videodrome.
Oh, rest in peace.
Yeah, so she's dead. Presumably for real, although I don't know. And he's like, "Whoa, hey, I wasn't expecting this." So then
geez.
no.
Oh, this is gonna be some trouble for me.
So he calls in, as you do, you call in a coworker to go solve this issue for you. Now, Keo, I guess Derek can answer this question too. If a coworker calls you in the middle of the night, late at night, and says that he wants you to come over and take pictures of his bed, you would go and do it, right?
Okay, this question's been phrased incorrectly. Wasn't he his boss or something? Right?
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
that's inappropriate.
Yeah, this is a grave misuse of authority.
Yeah, I would just say I have a hangover.
I would just tell him I'm dead. I'd say Videodrome got me.
He's already hallucinating. Yeah, he would probably just be like, "Huh? Oh no, they got to Harlan." I do love.
Why did he even humor this?
Well, because
he's
as we learn,
spoilers.
Yeah.
No, he's in on it, but why did he humor going to his house?
Probably to convince him to go talk to him later when Convex was going to be there.
Yes.
Okay.
So I was looking through the cast list on this, and the guy who plays Harlan has apparently not been in much of anything else afterwards. Doesn't have a wiki or anything. But I was kind of feeling his performance this entire movie.
Yeah.
He played first. Well, at first he plays it as just like the skeevy friend of the main protagonist. But then once we find out what he's actually doing,
yes,
he's
a
like
crypto fascist.
Yeah. But anyway, really he plays it in this scene where he's just like disgruntled with like, "There's nothing in there, man."
Yeah.
And he goes and like checks the bedroom. There's nothing in there. He's like, "What? But there was like a body in here and stuff." He's like, "You're going crazy, man."
He's putting up a really good performance here.
Yeah, you're going crazy, patron. And yeah, so he's like, "Listen, You listen. Go to the studio. Tell me if you got anything from Videodrome in the last week. He's like, I want to look at it. And he's like,
dude, it's 5 a.m. Let me go back to sleep.
He's like, no.
So yeah,
and,
they go right.
They go. He meets him later, I guess, but it's about the same time. They go there. He's like, so you find any broadcasts? He's like, no, man, there were never any broadcasts.
He's like, whoa.
And at this point, like, I think this is the point where Convex comes in. He's like, that's right.
It's like, hey, man, you just got punked.
Hey, man, we're trying to save Judeo-Christian civilization.
That's right.
But yeah, they talk about how North America is growing weak, while the other countries of the world are growing strong and hard.
He specifically uses the words pure and erect to describe how he wants the nation to be. Yeah, and Harlan's like, yeah, man, it's time for us to get the world together. Convix does a bit of shaming of Ren right here, where he's like, who would actually watch Videodrome? A sick freak? Someone like you? And he's like, oh, well, you got me there. I am a sick freak.
It's very bold of Cronenberg to make the protagonist completely unsympathetic.
Well, that's the thing, though, is that the protagonist himself is... kind
of a blank slate?
Well, yeah, he's not like... He's a scumbag, but also all of the things that are happening to him are definitely something that nobody probably deserves. So...
It's a pretty bleak situation all around for all parties involved.
Yes. So then we get to the part where you can tell we're getting in a third act here because things are getting real wild. So he's like,
they explain that he belongs to them now. He's been programmed.
Yeah, and then
he's a proud boy now.
That's right. He's given a videotape via his slit.
Yes, the videotape is heaving as well.
Yeah, and he's like, I think Convex even says "open up to me," which is gross. So then, he puts the tape in, and Max becomes just like a stone-faced individual.
Yeah, his MK Ultra activated.
Yeah, he's ready to go march into the Capitol. And by the Capitol, of course, I mean his headquarters, where he runs for TV, where he runs his TV business. So yeah,
where the true seat of power is in society.
That's right.
The memes.
And the gun.
Yeah, so he gets there, and
he pulls
I guess he's in the hallway.
Yes, he has his hallucination, or maybe not, where he's in the cellar. And he's getting his commands to kill his partners. He pulls his gun out of his chest cavity, and tendrils come out of it and start just tearing his hand up and merging it with the gun.
It seemed like there was more than tendrils. It was like spikes, like stabbing.
It was metal wires, metal spikes,
metal tendrils.
Yeah, and it's gnarly. It's a great effect. And the tendrils merge with him essentially, and wild stuff. There's also just a ton of like viscera on the gun when he pulls it out, which is that's good stuff. And by good stuff, I of course mean gross special effects.
Yeah, you mean like a third bucket of popcorn at this point.
Oh yeah, I almost had to go get a third one, but by then the movie was almost over, so I figured I might as well.
Can you imagine seeing this in theaters?
No.
Yeah.
I can't like. I don't know what people were expecting if they went to go see this in the theater.
I don't know. Maybe we should have looked at a trailer for this from the 80s.
I did see a trailer for it, but apparently the trailer was all made on a Commodore 64.
Oh my
god. The vast majority of the trailer was made by Cronenberg on a Commodore 64.
Oh my god, it is. Wow.
Yeah.
Proof.
Good stuff. So yeah, he goes in, he's like, hey, where are my friends at? Where are the good buddies? She's like, they're having a meeting. He's like, all right, well, don't let them know I'm here.
Yeah.
So he goes in there, shoots them point blank.
Yeah.
This is probably, it's pretty brutal.
But it's very mundane.
Well, it's the most mundane death in the movie, that's for sure. And yeah, they get got real good. They die. He leaves. Or I guess his assistant comes in and she's like, "What happened?" And he's like, "I don't know. Someone shot."
I think he said he killed themselves or something.
Yeah. And they're like, and she's like, "Oh, well, I won't ask any follow-up questions about that."
Let's get you out of here, fella.
Yeah. He leaves as soon as she gets him to the door, and there's this bit here where he's just sort of walking around the back of the studio. There's some people moving a plane of glass behind him. That's good. He should have just ran through it.
Yeah. I don't know what the significance of that is.
I don't know. Because they're just moving. They seem to just be moving random objects.
Yes.
Because there's like a door and then like a plate of glass that they're moving. And they do linger on it as he's walking behind it.
Yeah.
So yeah, he goes and he goes to confront the other person he's been ordered to kill, Bianca. And when he makes it, he tries to make it there, but the doors are closed, so he breaks in through the back.
Yes.
And when he gets there, she's like, "Well, guess you were gonna kill me after all, except for television." And she plays him a tape informing him of what we all pretty much suspected already, which is that Nikki was actually killed on Videodrome. And they've been using her image to sort of subdue him the entire time. Then the television itself has a gun come out of it. And
it shoots him.
It shoots him 3 times.
And this gun looks like a penis, by the way.
And
it's made out of human flesh.
Also, when it's stretching and the gun is being pointed, it's just white noise on the TV, and then it transforms into a flesh gun. And what we learn is actually it's sort of like a Mega Man type deal where it shoots him and gives him the power of flesh gun.
It's like the episode 1 of Bleach.
Oh yeah. He's stolen all of the power from the TV, and now he's TV boy.
Yes, he is the TV.
He can jump around and slide and get more power-ups.
He can hang on walls for a bit and jump off them.
Unfortunately, we're not gonna see his Bankai.
No.
He achieves it at the end, I'm assuming, but so yeah, he goes forward and she's like, "Hey, you've been reprogrammed. Now it's time for you to get revenge."
And this is where we get the whole first mention of the new Flesh.
Yes, she says, "Repeat after me, death to Videodrome, long live the new flesh." So he says that, and he's like, "Hey, that's cool." So then we get the scene here where he's sort of there's a cut scene apparently where he's supposed to be looking at in the window of the shop he's hanging out at while he's waiting for them. And he's supposed to like see a reflection of like his like mutated self or something. Ooh. I guess that got cut. That would have been cool, maybe.
Yeah.
I think it got cut for budget reasons. I'm not sure. Because they went like way over budget.
We just have him waiting outside for Halton.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Harlan.
Yeah, there's a homeless guy who sounds like Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Oh, yeah, and he's just, like, talking to him. He's like, "Hey, listen, you gotta pay me if you want the monkey to dance, man. You pay me, you get the monkey to dance."
Oh, yeah, and the homeless man is next to a television, by the way.
Yeah, it's not a monkey or anything. It's just a TV.
It's just a TV.
He's just a TV, and he's charging people to watch it. Which is... it sounds like a good deal, honestly.
That sounds like what we're doing right now.
What was this about exactly? Why did they show us this? At the very end of the movie.
David Cronenberg is making fun of us.
Yeah, we're the monkeys.
No, we're the homeless man.
Oh my god.
Oh
my god.
This podcast is the monkey.
Interesting.
Oh my god.
Yeah, basically that scene predicted the gig economy.
Yeah. There's a second it's not the last bit of trivia I have, but it is the next to last bit, which is another thing that got cut from the budgets, is that the flesh gun apparently was going to be way more grotesque. It was going to have like eyes and like a mouth and stuff.
Oh no.
And was going to have like what is only described in this quote as foreskin.
Oh no, no, thank you.
But even Cronenberg was like, I don't know about this one. That seems like too much.
I don't think you can get away with that in 2020.
So then he was, and so I guess he was like, maybe the budget won't allow for it to sort of calm down the effects guy. So yeah, they, he sees Harlan go into, a shop here, and, the glasses shop, yeah. Cause that's when there's this weird,
there's this one single take that's filmed the dialogue's very naturalistic.
In the shop?
Yeah, when he's trying to make his way in, he's interrupted by one of the managers.
Yeah, I do like this scene here because it feels so incongruous with the rest of the movie.
Yeah, it's the most real, naturalistic. Well, this whole film's about hyper-reality. And instead we just have this very natural social awkwardness instead of constructed dialogues and interactions.
Yeah, and like this guy, like, I guess he has, what is it, Jamaican accent or something?
Yeah, I think so.
And he's like, hey, you want some glasses or something? And he's like, oh, no, thank you. And then once he's out of the way, and like, I love that you can hear the conversation lingering. Like, the audio is spliced so you can still hear the conversation. It's not like backtracked or anything. Like, you can't, like, for some reason, Cronenberg wants you to hear this conversation that this man is having with this elderly woman about how I don't know how you can see anything without them.
I don't know.
So then he goes in here, and that's when we get this, the second gnarliest death in the whole movie.
The guy gets the thinged.
Yes. Oh my god, yeah. My favorite line in the movie, too. So he's hanging out with Harlan. Harlan's like, so, you meet some interesting people? And he's like, yeah. We had talks. He's like, good. Let me give you your next assignment. And he pulls out a tape that is now just flesh.
Yeah, he also makes a line about how they're just going to wring everything out of him. Just work him to death. Work
that sucker to death. That's what they're planning to do.
We get another open up for me.
Yeah. And this time, Harlan's trying to pull his hand back out, and he's just, I love, like, the rush of air, and then just, like, the stare that James Woods gives him. And then he pulls his hand out, and there's, like, some, like, flesh grenade attached to it.
No, that's the tape. It merged with his bones, I think. It just covered
and became a grenade.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's, like, backing away, just, like, horrified, because why wouldn't you be? And then he backs up to the wall. James Wood has
used to it by now.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah, I'd be pretty much like, yeah, this is normal by that point.
I don't know, if I like pulled my hand back from something, and then it was just like a metal,
you would
like,
think utter pain.
Yeah, and then also I heard a clicking noise. I would be very concerned. So he's screaming. James Woods has a line read that feels like it's out of, like, an action movie. Where he just looks at the guy and he says, "See ya in Pittsburgh," and then he explodes.
Yeah, it's great.
And then he walks out of the hole in the wall that he made when he exploded. A shocking lack of detail with what's left of him when he explodes, but who knows what the nature of that bomb, I guess.
He just ceased to exist, I think.
Yeah. Oh man, what a horrible way to go. Not as horrible as the other one, but you know. So yeah, he walks out. I love there's a bit of naturalistic dialogue here where there is a little girl being like, "An explosion, Mom," and the mom is like, "Stay back." As he just calmly walks out and then moves forward. He goes to this trade show.
Yes, it's like the end of The Fugitive. Now.
Oh my, yeah, it is. So this is near the end of what you actually watched, Kyo?
Yes. This is the incident.
He shoots the guy and he just starts turning into flesh.
Yeah, well, not just flesh, Kyo, right? He turns into a mass of tumors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's like the most nasty form of flesh, I guess.
I hope so.
Oh, if they've discovered a nastier form of flesh? Ooh, I don't want to know. Yeah, so I guess it's supposed to be implied, or at least that's what the Wikipedia wants me to believe, is that the gun itself caused all of those tumors, but I don't know. I thought it was just because his existence is tied up in television.
I feel like it's open to interpretation. What happened?
It's all hallucinations. He's just shooting people with a regular gun.
Maybe.
Who knows? I had heard a theory a long time ago that it was supposed to be like a play on the old rumor that if you stood too close to the television, you'd get cancer. Anyway, yeah. So he finds Harlan at this like benefit dinner or whatever he's doing, or this trade show.
Barry Convex.
Yeah. Sorry. And they have like a stare down, and then Convex is just what a pitiful way to go out. He's just like no.
Well, he probably knows what's going to happen to him. I think.
Well, yeah, he sees the flesh gun. At this point, he has his hand has turned completely into it's just like a big flesh mound. So he shoots him 3 times. Big old gourd. Yeah. People are freaking out. And he grabs the microphone and says, deaf to Videodrome, long live the new flesh, as you do. And then, yeah, the most gnarly death sequence in the whole movie happens.
I have a theory.
Okay.
So we see his body like just becoming tumors. I think that's sort of like how, these ideas we have, social movements, they don't really go away. They just kind of rot and get corrupted over time. Like the modern forms of fascism, or just a degenerate form of, 20th century fascism.
Yeah. I could...
I don't know. I'm just pulling this out of my ass.
I don't know how that's connected to this film in particular.
I mean, this film is about, like, the literalization of the idea that our information technology can influence reality.
Yeah, I mean that is true. This movie plays a lot with like how the media what media is informing. Since pretty much from the beginning of the movie, Max is taking orders from a television.
Yes.
Especially at the end, which is why I was saying the end is so crucial, Kyorain. But we'll get to that in a second. So yeah,
You mean the end I didn't watch because that scene with the tumors? I just kind of said, okay, I think I get where this film was going and went.
Even though there was 7 minutes left.
Look, I really toughed it out. Okay.
Yeah, it was a little too gnarly for you, Kieran.
I saw that happened, and I'm like, there's still 7 more minutes of this, and I just said, okay.
Yeah, to be fair, that is the gnarliest thing that happens with what's left of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Harlan dies. He drops the mic and then like walks out of the building, but the mic is still like close enough to the body that you hear it all.
Oh yeah, you can hear him just like dying horribly.
Yeah. So then we get the final scene in the film here where I guess he's hiding out because he's wanted.
Yeah, it seems like he went to Chernobyl and just hanging out at the abandoned ship.
Yes, this is so wild. So he goes to there's this abandoned like derelict boat that he goes into. I wonder where he heard about this.
I assume that every city in the 80s just has an abandoned waterfront.
People just talk about it, and he just, he's like, seems like a pretty good place to have my last moments.
Yeah. So he goes to this derelict boat, which again, excellent design here. It looks like garbage. Like there's a dirty mattress and he's just like sitting on.
I think that was just filmed on location in Toronto in the 80s, Swanson.
Hey, maybe. So yeah, he's hanging out, just thinking about how he got his revenge. Everything's good. And then a television appears. And Nikki appears on the television and she's like, "Hey, Max, you did a great job. You weakened Videodrome, but you haven't defeated it." She's like, "What you need to do next is the final is the next phase in defeating it. You need to ascend. Leave the old flesh."
Yes.
So what I'm saying about this being crucial, Kyorain, is that the television once again gives him one final proclamation, and he obeys it. So the TV shows him an image of himself saying, "Long live the new flesh," and then he shoots himself in the head.
Yes, and
as
then
that
the TV
happens,
explodes.
Yes.
And like a Half-Life 1 NPC being gibbed. Just in these chunks of viscera.
Yeah, and organs just sort of spilling out of the television. And then Max says, "Huh, I guess I'll listen to the TV." And all we get is the close-up on his face. He says, "Long live the new flesh." And just so there's no, like, ambiguity, it cuts to black and you hear a gunshot.
Yeah, but we don't know what happens to him.
Afterwards, yeah.
He dies.
So that's where my last bit of trivia comes in. There was a different ending that Cronenberg had in mind originally. Apparently, the ending that we get is James Wood's idea.
Ooh.
The initial idea was that after the suicide, Max, Bianca, and Nikki all appear on the set of Videodrome, and they're shown to have chest slits just like Max.
Aww.
And
they're
like, yeah, and they're like, it's like a happy ending sort of deal. This is an actual quote from Cronenberg that I found here. It's a happy. He's like, a happy ending. Well, it's my version of a happy ending. Boy meets girl on the Videodrome set with the clay wall, maybe covered in blood, but I'm not sure. Freudian rebirth imagery, pure and simple. So yeah, it's sort of a resurrection in its own ways. But he decided that he didn't actually like that ending because of his own belief system.
What does that ending mean?
That he was resurrected in the new flesh.
Well,
what does it mean metaphorically?
I guess it would mean that Professor Oblivion was right, that you really do live on forever in TV.
Yeah. I think that ending would have sort of sullied it a little bit for me. It's still a good movie, but I think it's better to leave it ambiguous what happens after he does the bidding.
Yeah, so like, what is our form of the new flesh going to be in result to what's going on in the world?
Exactly. Do you have any theories on what happens there?
I think it became TV. It's like the end of 2001, but TV.
Ooh. My theory is slightly joking, but it's not really that serious because it's not that interesting, actually. Which is that Bianca just set him up to tie up loose ends.
Oh, that's probably true.
Yeah. I mean, she is the smartest person in this movie, I guess. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's pretty much the end of Videodrome. What did we learn, fellas?
We were supposed to learn something.
I learned you're not immune to propaganda. That's the true message of this film.
Yeah, you can read a lot about propaganda in this. I mean, it's about media in general, I think. Yes. So that at the time was media like 24-hour news and stuff hadn't really become a thing.
No, but you had the Vietnam War on everyone's evening news.
That's true.
And that was like a completely redefining of spatial relationships.
Yeah, that's
it was
true.
The internet that made things really 24/7, though.
Yeah, I do like this. I hadn't heard this theory before that you were positing about Cronenberg sort of predicting the internet in a roundabout way.
Oh, I'm sure someone has said it by now. There's no way.
It's true, but I haven't really been reading Videodrome discourse since I watched it like 10 years ago and haven't watched it since.
So do you guys think that all that stuff with all the flash was literally happening in the physical world, or do you think that he was just going around with a gun shooting
people? It's a metaphor for insanity. Like the creepy flesh arm is like a visual representation of what QAnon does to people's brains. Stop stealing.
I think from the moment he first gets the tape from Oblivion, you're not supposed to know what's reality. It's like the end of American Psycho. You're not supposed to know what's reality and what isn't anymore.
Okay, well, we're not supposed to know per se, but do you think physically anything happened at all? Because my interpretation of this film is that none of it happened physically.
There's nothing in between, I think. It's either your way or all of it's real.
I think he for sure killed those people because that news item was...
He killed them, but I don't think there was a flesh gun at all. I think that it was all
just a regular gun.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, he just had a regular gun. He was just killing people a regular way.
Either way works. I think thematically.
If you read it that way, I think it is a pretty good metaphor for how media can detach you from reality, especially the social media that didn't exist back in the 80s.
Yeah. I think I'm going to have to adjust my Letterboxd score for this movie after thinking about it more.
2 stars.
That's right. Anyway, so I think we learned a good bit about how the media can be poisonous to your mind if you're not careful.
Yeah, I'm going to go watch The Sopranos now.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go just sort of...
Also do that.
Yeah.
I think that the message, though, is kind of muddled when you think of it... When you think about it, because... okay, so you're talking about propaganda and all that stuff, but... the thing that he delved into was this underground
porno,
sexual, nasty stuff that no normal person would be exposed to. So the message you're trying to kind of tie it to gets kind of lost when you think of that angle.
Yeah, well, but everyone nowadays is looking at smut.
Yeah, but you've also got to think about it in the context of which it's made, which is in the early 80s, which is like right after that big boom of like CD.
Yeah, New Hollywood.
Yeah, well, no, I mean specifically like the CD porn industry in the late 70s. So it's like right after that fell apart.
Yeah.
A large number of people are looking at pornography, but that's not really what's linked to people getting propagandized.
Yeah, I think I don't know if the message of propaganda is exactly what he's going for. I think it's just a theme that you can take from it to apply it to modern day.
It's about how media warps our brains.
Yes.
And we're reading into it, maybe.
Yeah, well, we're reading into it we're going down a different path than I think really is congruent with the film. I think that it is kind of conveying that getting into like nasty stuff.
I think he picked
can really mess up your brain.
Yeah, I think he just picked nasty stuff because he figured we'd be desensitized.
Well, yeah, he's a purpose.
Yeah.
Cronenberg, when he's working at his best, is intending to shock usually at certain points.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is a good movie. What do you guys think? Tune in, tune out?
Tune in. Kyo?
I didn't like it.
Oh.
Hey, it's your opinion, Kyo Rain.
Would you have liked it more if we saw Nikki's boobs?
More?
Yeah, like if she was on film, like more, like if instead of this man on the screen all the time, if it was just her, like with no shirt on, and
interesting,
and no flesh, like at all.
Oh, so she's a skeleton.
She's her as a skeleton.
Yeah, that would be a better movie for me.
Oh.
But yeah, I mean, we can sit here and pick apart what this film meant and all that, but when it came down to it, I was just kind of like, it was not pleasant for me to watch.
Yeah, RoboCop's better.
Well.
Oh, that's a good question, Kyo, right? Yeah. You've seen both.
There was some.
I mean, there's a similar through line of these men going through traumatic transformations brought about by neoliberalism.
Yeah.
I think RoboCop was more entertaining for me, but also very unpleasant.
Okay, better question, question, Stairmaster. Kurtwood Smith as Barry Convex, better villain?
It's Kurtwood Smith.
That's the bitches leave guy.
Oh, that would be fun. I could see it. Yeah. It'd be a different character.
We make eyeglasses and missile systems for NATO.
Don't quit your J job. Of podcasting.
Okay.
All right, so my official ruling on this film is going to be a tune in, but I didn't like it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Does that make sense? Because I can identify that it's a good movie, but it was not for me.
Yeah, I think that makes sense to me. Because even if you can watch it and be like, yeah, I don't want to see that again, you can understand that this is like at least something that has a message it's getting across that is not just meant to desensitize you for no good reason.
And there are boobs.
Yeah. The TV Tuners seal of approval.
Incel Nation seal of disapproval.
Yeah, it's true. If it was only the boobs and there wasn't like a sex scene, would it have been approved by Incel Nation?
I mean, there could have even been a sex scene, but the protagonist cannot have sex to get Incel Nation approved.
Oh, okay. So The Stand is Incel Nation approved. This is...
Okay, what if the protagonist doesn't have sex, but his girlfriend has sex with another man?
Oh, that's definitely
approved. How could he have a girlfriend?
Oh.
They're Christian.
I don't know. I'm going to have to talk with the incels about this.
Yeah.
All of Keo's incel friends.
His wide
No,
network.
they're not my friends.
Oh.
Not my friends.
No friends. All right, well, you've heard it here. That's a tune in on Videodrome. Yeah, and hey, look, if you listen to this, if this was your first time listening to a TV Tuners episode, go give our main show a try. There we talk about the latest and sometimes greatest in TV.
Actually, wait a minute. I thought about the scene where he pierces her ears with the needle himself, and now it's a tune out.
Fair
too
enough.
late.
Understandable.
It's already been submitted.
No, that's the rule.
That's right. Yeah, I've already submitted into the wall of flesh.
Hey, wait! This is just a wall from Videodrome. Hey, who are those guys with the whips? I'm getting kind of hard.
Whoa, this was Keo's plan.
Just as planned, including that part which there got hard.
Look out, Keo!
Huh?
They're gonna whip you!
No, I orchestrated this.
No, they're
Look out!
whipping me instead.
Wait, no!
Anyway, yeah, we just had a new episode of TV Tuners based on The Stand, the adaptation. Go see if we liked it or not. You'll probably figure it out in the first couple minutes. But stick around, and we'll be back next week to talk about our new Buy Me a Coffee.
Oh.
That's right. We're starting a mini-series because someone was wild enough to buy us 6 coffees to talk
7.
about. Well, yeah,
coffees.
6 specifically for this topic to talk about Gundam: The Origin. So we're gonna we're starting a new mini-series called Podcast: The Origin. For the next 6 weeks here, we'll be looking at Gundam: The Origin.
And I guess we'll be talking about our childhoods. Ow!
Probably. And, alright, we'll see you then. Stay tuned, TV Tuners is out every Tuesday. Keep watching. Bye. It's over.
I'd buy that for $1.
See you in Pittsburgh.
Hey, folks. Time for the TV Tuners Denver bonus fact of the bonus week. Did you know that Master does not drink coffee? He just pours it on his legs.